Have you always been drawn to dark, moody interiors? The kind you see in mystery films like Knives Out, filled with leather armchairs, crackling fireplaces, and shelves of old books. Spaces that feel storied, sophisticated, with a touch of mystery? Well, in today's video, we're diving into the Bookish Grandpa Style. Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Jacqueline, I'm an interior designer, and today we're looking at a blend of dark academia, a gentleman's whisky lounge, and the charm of a Scottish Highlands manor, all to create this very atmospheric design style. I've been wanting to do this video for a really long time now, and I just kind of thought that now that it's autumn in Scotland, it's the right time, because living in Scotland, believe me, it really does feel like living in a dark academia cozy mystery. Also, the Traitors, that is back on TV. I don't know if any of you guys watch it, but for those that do, you'll obviously know that it's set in a castle in the Scottish Highlands. And I really wanted to talk about the style of the Traitors castle, the house from Knives Out, the movie, and dark academia interiors. Because I think a blend of all of them creates this really interesting, distinctive style. So if you're interested in creating that look in your own homes, let's jump in. Now, this is a term that I've completely made up, so don't come for me, because it's an amalgamation of different styles. It's not just dark academia. Yes, that's the base trend for this style, but I find that dark academia is much more classical in its approach. With neoclassical influences and the spotlight on learning, it's a bit classier than Bookish Grandpa Style, which is a lot more mysterious and gothic. Really like something that's jumped out of a mystery novel. The perfect mix of dark academia, whiskey lounge sophistication, and Highland castle noir. It's dark academia meets the house from Knives Out meets a country club in the Scottish Highlands. What we associate with the Bookish Grandpa style is quiet sophistication. It's not flashy or trendy, but it feels lived in, cultivated, and deeply personal. Ultimately, a Bookish Grandpa home is both masculine and approachable, darkly elegant yet welcoming, a space where sophistication and history meets mystery. Now, what does the Traitors castle have in common with the Knives Out mansion? They're both designed in the Gothic Revival architectural style. The Knives Out house being Gothic Revival with hints of Queen Anne architecture, and the Traitors being Gothic Revival with a Scottish baronial flair. What makes these buildings the backdrop for mystery stories is that they're unique and interesting. Steeply pitched roofs, ornate gables, and protruding turrets or towers add verticality and drama, making the structure feel as though it's reaching towards the sky. Exteriors are typically clad in stone or brick, with intricate carvings, finials, cresting, and ironwork that highlight craftsmanship and attention to detail. Gothic Revival architecture is, of course, known for its pointed arches and Gothic windows, oriel windows, lancet windows, and hood moulds as well. The Gothic Revival style emerged in the late 18th and 19th centuries, and it came back as a reaction to rapid industrialization and neoclassical minimalism of the time. With Gothic Revival and Scottish baronial architectural styles, the two both celebrated grandeur, craftsmanship, and obviously, drama. The styles were born from a romantic nostalgia for the past, reimagining medieval and castle-like elements for a more refined domestic setting, and the interior matched that of the exterior. Inside you'll often find wooden panelling, picture frame wainscoting, vaulted ceilings, and decorative mouldings that bring texture and depth. Fireplaces serve as grand focal points, often carved with Gothic motifs like quatrefoils and foliated arches, creating spaces that feel stately yet intimate. Carved wooden details and dramatic proportions that give the space an intellectual and almost mysterious aura. These homes and manors were designed to evoke a sense of mystery and grandeur, blending spirituality, history, and storytelling into the very bones of the building. For example, at Abbotsford in the Scottish Borders, rebuilt in 1816 by Sir Walter Scott and paid for by the profits from his wildly successful historical novels. And part of that mystery comes from hidden rooms, trapdoors, and secret passageways. These were created a long time ago before the Gothic Revival movement for security and escape during times of conflict and religious persecution. For example, priest holes were specially concealed places within houses where priests could hide away safely during a time when Catholics were being persecuted by Elizabeth I. And for wealthy Victorians when Gothic Revival was most prominent, a hidden library alcove, concealed door behind panelling, or passage connecting rooms added a sense of wonder and sophistication. I'm sure you'll agree with me that the interior architecture feels steeped in history and stories like a Scottish Highlands castle. The design style isn't about recreating a castle, but capturing that same sense of permanence and Gothic character. And one way to transform your space into this style is through your colour choices. When it comes to Bookish Grandpa Style, the colour palette sets the mood before anything else. Now, if I say the word Gothic, you don't exactly picture a light, bright colour palette, do you? So think deep, moody tones that feel rich and sophisticated. The kind of shades that invite you to linger over a book or a glass of whisky. Dark greens, deep navies and burgundies, and rich browns form the backbone of the palette, echoing the wood-panelled studies and classic libraries of old manors. These are complemented by lighter, warmer browns, cognacs, and hints of amber, which bring in that cozy, lived-in feeling that makes the space feel approachable. The Knives Out set design has lots of eclectic pieces scattered throughout the whole manor, so I think it's safe to say that brighter accent colours would just make the space feel a lot more lived in and homely. Burnt ochre, rusty terracotta, bright reds, olive greens and muted gold can be layered in throws, rugs, lampshades or artwork, adding depth and richness without feeling overpowering. The overall effect you're trying to conjure is moody yet inviting and masculine but warm. A palette that feels like it has a story behind it, perfectly suited to a home that blends gentleman's club charm and that whodunit mystery manor intrigue. When looking at textures in these interiors, Bookish Grandpa thrives on layers. This style is all about creating a tactile, sensory experience. Every surface should feel like it has a story that you can reach out and touch. Start with rich, weighty fabrics, wool, velvet, tweed and leather, the kind of textures that feel luxurious but lived in. A leather armchair by the fire, a tweed throw casually draped over the sofa, or thick velvet curtains with tie backs instantly add depth. Of course, if you're wanting that Scottish feel, I would recommend tartan fabrics, which may feel a bit stereotypical, but believe me, everyone has at least one bit of tartan in their home. I think a lot of these interiors feel like an old wise man space because they have lots of artifacts and curios scattered all around from other countries. So think about incorporating Oriental and Moroccan rugs to add a layer of worldly sophistication to the Bookish Grandpa aesthetic, grounding the space with intricate patterns and deep, time-worn colour palettes. A part of your home that often gets forgotten about is the staircase, and really you're using it every day. For your staircase, think about making it grand, exposed dark wood treads with a carpet runner in the middle and dramatic painted black balustrade. Patterns play a key role too, bringing in a sense of heritage. As I already mentioned, tartans, but there's also herringbone, houndstooth and paisley. They're all classic choices that echo the Scottish and British country house influences. If you're really wanting an aged feel to the space, then consider using tartan as a wallpaper against some wainscoting to bring that Scottish manor charm. To balance the richness, introduce natural textures, dark woods like walnut and mahogany, stone, copper or brass. The beauty of this style lies in the contrast. Ultimately, the textures here are about tactile storytelling. It's the way worn leather tells of evenings spent reading, or how the weave of a tartan blanket evokes Highland autumns. Creating that mystery manor house becomes a lot easier when you start to add furniture to the design. Furniture is at the heart of the Bookish Grandpa aesthetic. You're looking for furniture that looks like it's been passed down through generations. This style really favours craftsmanship and character over anything overly modern or polished. And mixing and matching different furniture styles in dark wooden tones can contribute to the eclectic and dark academia aesthetic. Some examples to emulate are Chesterfield leather sofas, worn leather wingback chairs, solid mahogany writing desks, vintage roll-top desks, carved wooden bookshelves, neoclassical swan tables, classic club chairs in aged leather, antique coffee tables or trunk with brass hardware, side tables with turned legs or claw feet, an ornate bar cart, upholstered ottoman, wooden console table with drawers for curiosities, a grandfather clock, high-back dining chairs, pedestal dining table, coat stand in dark wood, library ladders or step stool for tall bookcases, antique globe or map tables, a sleigh bed, an elegant writing chair, Chippendale-style display cabinets, and Moroccan side tables. And I know most of the pieces I mentioned are either antique or vintage, and I just want to say, if that's not your kind of thing, if it's too old-fashioned for you or out of your price range, the same style can be achieved just by simply using dark painted furniture, even if they are in a modern style. The goal is to create a room that feels collected rather than coordinated, mix different dark colours and finishes. The beauty of Bookish Grandpa interiors lies in their imperfection. They tell a story through their patina, scratches and softened edges. As a side note, if you're enjoying the video, please leave a like and a comment. I really appreciate that. I read every single one. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this. No Bookish Grandpa home would be complete without a proper library, or at least a well-curated bookcase. This style really celebrates the romance of a well-read life. Whether it's a room lined with dark wooden shelves, a single corner styled like a mini study, or a cozy book nook, the presence of books instantly adds warmth, intellect, and depth. Think floor-to-ceiling shelving in rich woods like mahogany, walnut, or oak, finished with a soft, aged sheen. You can even line the back of a bookcase with tartan wallpaper or aged fabric for a touch of texture and visual intrigue. Remember, your library should feel lived in, not staged. The beauty of this look is in its quiet imperfection. Mismatched book spines, a half-open novel resting on a chair, a pair of reading glasses beside a decanter. Or conversely, you can create your own Bookish Grandpa inspired bookcase by using IKEA furniture. Either the Billy or Hemnes range, stacked or combined to reach ceiling height, and most importantly, painted in dark, moody tones to create that custom feel. Add crown moulding, integrated lighting, and carefully curated books and curios to give the arrangement the layered, timeless charm of a traditional study. I think this is a really ingenious way to create that dark academia library on a budget. Lighting is essential in a Bookish Grandpa interior because it sets the mood and also highlights those rich textures and deep colours I mentioned before. A fringed lamp, stag lamp, glass bead chandeliers, double candle wall sconces, parasol pendant lights, frosted glass table lamps, a banker's lamp, Victorian brass chandeliers, and even gold Moroccan lights to illuminate a space steeped in antiquity. The goal is warm, inviting, and slightly moody illumination that makes the space feel intimate and cinematic, like stepping into a library in the Scottish Highlands manor or a whisky lounge straight out of Knives Out. Home decor accessories are truly the pieces that bring a Bookish Grandpa aesthetic to life. They're what makes the space feel personal, collected, and full of stories. Classic accessories include antique globes, brass or bronze figurines, vintage clocks, bone inlay boxes, model ships, crystal tumblers and decanters, brass bookends, magnifying glasses, Gothic oddities, mantle clocks, leather-bound books and journals, maps, gold antique-style mirrors, ginger jars, candelabras, busts, antique picture frames, old telescopes, stationery items, ornate cigar boxes, old backgammon sets, or chessboards, and even a typewriter. You want the decor pieces to invoke curiosity. While Bookish Grandpa style is rooted in its interiors, bringing elements of the garden indoors and embracing the outdoor space just enhances the overall mood. Think of Scottish manor-inspired gardens, absolutely full of character. Outdoor gardens should feel lush and timeless. Think formal box hedges and topiaries mixed with wilder elements like climbers, like ivy, and pine trees for height. Autumnal trees like ginkgo, Japanese maples, dogwood, sweet gum, rowan and aspens all form beautiful foliage in the autumn season. Indoor plants aren't commonly seen with this design style, if I'm being quite honest, but you can still include them. Just go down the Victorian conservatory route. By including ferns, Wardian cases, cast iron plants, Kentia palms, trailing pothos brings softness and organic movement to shelves, bookcases or corners as well. Artwork is a crucial element in piecing together a Bookish Grandpa style home by reinforcing the moody intellectual atmosphere. Artwork that sparks curiosity or hints at history and location are the best. Framed architectural drawings pre-1900, portraits, autumnal landscape prints, antique maps, Gothic art, equestrian paintings, while botanical or natural history illustrations bring a touch of science. To create a dark academia gallery wall, mix framed oil paintings, vintage maps, botanical prints, and antique portraits in a slightly eclectic, collected over time arrangement. You can also bring in 3D elements like face masks and carved wooden panels for an even more eclectic, worldly feel. Out of all the interior design styles I've mentioned in the past, this one is by far the most book-centric. I mean, it's Bookish Grandpa, it's in the name, right? Leather-bound old editions can be great placeholders and decor itself, as well as stacked piles of books in the corner of rooms. For coffee tables and occasional tables, select oversized, visually striking books that reflect culture, travel, or literature. Think vintage photography volumes, classic literature in leather-bound editions, or natural history books. Of course, anything by the Queen of Crime, and other crime novels like The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. They serve as both conversation starters and tactile elements that invite guests to flip the pages and get lost in the whodunit mystery. But of course, if you've got an expansive bookcase, then go for books that you're actually going to read, because it will take up quite a lot of space if you're just buying books to fill up the interior. The Bookish Grandpa style is essentially where every corner of the home tells a story. Please leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed the video. I read every single one, and believe it or not, it actually really helps to grow the channel. And if you need help fulfilling your own design dreams, I've left our website in the description. I hope these Bookish Grandpa home decor ideas inspire you to create your own cozy corner of mystery and antiquity. But that's it for today's video, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!